So Joe is leading with the people that's voting right now. And everyone who votes on election day, they aren't entirely and solely going to just be voting for Donald Trump. That would never happen. And in fact, the vote would actually be split, merely adding on to the Democrats' lead. He's got to win the states that were once Republican states before, states that they should win. This should definitely not happen. If this happens, it's going to be a bad night for the president. Michigan is way outside the margin of error, so I don't suspect this to happen or to change anytime soon. The president has been campaigning in Minnesota because they believe they can flip it. I don't think so. I can't really see Nevada ever changing if even Hillary Clinton didn't lose Nevada, so I just really can't see that. But they've been making a push there. North Carolina would be a tremendous blow to the Trump campaign, to the Trump war room. It would be a tremendous blow. But Joe's close to a majority there, so they can't afford that. Pennsylvania is starting to get closer and tighter. It's below 5%, and this is actually his best shot at winning the presidency. He takes Pennsylvania, Trump's chances shoots up tremendously. And Pennsylvania has actually been fluctuating. Just the other day, it was at 4.7%. Now it's going back up in Biden's direction a little bit. It was actually at 5%. Now it's going back up in his direction. Wisconsin is way outside the margin of error, so I wouldn't even consider this changing for Trump. And like I said, he doesn't have to win the whole entire Rust Belt to win the presidency, just in places more so like Pennsylvania. Florida shouldn't be a discussion. If the president loses Florida, North Carolina, Georgia, places like that early, it's going to be a long night for him. And so he must win those places in which Republicans have done well before. Places like Florida, North Carolina, Arizona, those type of places. Let's fill this out if we're in the Trump war room, the map that we would like to see. Wisconsin doesn't look like it's even up for discussion at this point. The same thing for Michigan. White America is going to come out for Donald Trump, so I expect him to carry Iowa. I expect him to carry Ohio. He must win Arizona, which has gone for the Republicans before. This is John McCain's state. He must win Georgia. This has always been the dominant GOP state as well. Florida has been trending towards the Republicans for quite some time, and in fact, the Republicans do better here. This is where George W. Bush's brother was the governor at for many years, Jeb Bush. If they can win Florida, they're in good shape. If he can make it right here. If Texas goes for Trump, it'll barely go. It'll barely go for Trump. The Senate race in the 2018 midterms, Beto versus Ted Cruz, had more votes than the presidential election in 2016. So just imagine the election turnout this time. But if it goes for Trump, it'll barely go for him. If he can get to this part of the ballgame right here, Trump is in play. Pennsylvania will put him over the top. And I'll give him Maine's 2nd congressional district because if white America comes out for him like that, then I'll give him Maine's 2nd congressional district. Donald Trump is reelected president of the United States. Like I said, he's losing in terms of polling coming from these states right now as I speak. And the voters that have already voted say they have voted overwhelmingly for Joe Biden. Everyone who votes on election day isn't entirely and solely going to be voting for Donald Trump. He has to be wishing for a miracle now at this point in time. Like I said, he has to be flipping Democrats over to Republicans. Because the math is against them. The math is against the Republicans. At this point in time, this type of map is a wet dream for the Republican Party. They would love to see this type of map. But is it likely? Probably not.